Welcome back. That was a pretty good game.
The U.S. men's national team, a huge needed win, a 2-0 win over Japan in Columbus, Ohio. Pretty much a sold-out friendly game.
Yeah, I mean the one thing that I said after the Korea game was we need to have a good game, and that's exactly what I said at the beginning. That was a good game. That was one of the best performances from the first minute to the 90th minute that we've had under Poch.
It definitely is. I mean, the atmosphere was jumping in Columbus.
And that was a huge help, too.
Huge help. Again, like Trevin said, from minute 1 to 90, it definitely seemed like a good performance. Yes, it's Japan's rotated squad.
We can only play who's in front of you, and we just lost to Korea.
We still needed a huge win. We got a win. And not only that, we saw some bright spots from players that we haven't really seen in a while, i.e. Zendejas. Before we get into the goal, though, lineup, 5 at the back, what I've been wanting to see.
The end of the video, we left it off with a, hey, we want to see a 5 at the back. We think this team is built for it. You have Dest. We all know his frailties defending, but you have Robinson, who is one of the best attacking left backs. Obviously, he didn't play, but the formation and the squad is so built for that.
It's definitely built for that. Dest didn't start the game, unfortunately, but he did come on later on in the game. We had a really good performance with the backs 5. I'll give it hats off to Arfston.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Good performance at the wing back. And I don't know if
appreciate that.
I don't know if it's the positioning. I don't know if it's the mindset or the tactics for the manager. But he had a great game.
He had a much better game. Best game in the U.S. men's national team jersey.
I agree. And we're some of the main harpers on him. We have been talking about him a lot,
shitting on him.
But we have to give him his plaudits. He had the best game that he's had in the national team jersey, and I think. Other people didn't have that, but they still had really great games.
Arfston, honestly, after that performance, if he can keep it up, and he'll probably get called into the next upcoming camps.
Especially if we continue this formation.
Yeah,
Sorry.
He's not Robinson. He's not going to take over Robinson.
No.
We know that. Everybody knows that. Pochettino knows that. God willing, Pochettino knows that, right? Arfston would be a good number 2 or 3 left wing back. I mean, I can see that position fitting him, his responsibility in that role yesterday. I really liked it. I appreciated everything he did. Like I said, he attacked well. He created the goal for Zendejas.
Yeah.
We can talk about that now. I mean, Zendejas, another guy who gets the start.
Squad, brother.
A beautiful volley, left foot, I think it was. Peach of a goal.
I mean, it was just such a hot start. Like Tanner said, Arfston creating. And when he goes down that wing with the pace and aggression that is needed, he does well.
He's a winger, really.
He's really a winger. He gets out in front of people so well. He has separation speed.
Yes.
He's not somebody that, to me, is a great left back because he can't sit back and, be patient. He wants to really get forward, and he did well on that left wing to especially create that goal for Zendejas.
On the other side, Freeman. This guy, first half, a little suspect, not the best going forward, to be honest. I really would love to see him as a part of the back 3 that we saw, which we'll talk about.
Yep.
But Freeman at right wing back, second half especially. Defensively, first of all, this guy's a fucking beast of an athlete.
Yeah.
Want to see him get a big transfer somewhere. Would love to see that.
Regular game time at a really, not even just an established club, just somewhere that he can get regular game time in a competitive league.
A more competitive league for the
league.
MLS lovers. Not that it's not competitive, you know what I mean?
Right.
A more competitive league, a higher level league, you know what I mean?
A higher floor league.
Yeah. Back 3, excellent job. I think the defense. We'll talk about Balogun and Pulisic and a little bit more as Zendejas.
The front line did fantastic.
It's a good job, but for me, the back line, I don't really remember, except in the end when Japan had that crazy long shot that almost smacked in.
Just went right.
Other than that, man, I don't really remember them having crazy big opportunities. I thought Matt Freese was solid in goal when the few chances he did, they were kind of half saves. Kind of expected him.
Freese had an okay game.
The defense was locking down though, and I'll include Blackman in that. He had a really good.
He had much improved. I don't know what Poch said to those guys in the last few days since the Korea game, but whatever it is, or whatever tactics they changed, obviously the formation, we know that, so the tactics are different inherently, but whatever, specific things that he got into them, they listened. And it was one of the best performances under him.
Yeah, I think the back three really helped out Blackman. I think it suited him well too. Ream in a back three, I love that. Ream, Tim Ream, this guy.
Boy, he's so good.
This boy Tim Ream, Tim Ream's off the left in this one, I think. Richards, but you know how it works the back three. It always intertwines, people change, but Tim Ream has to be in the back three somewhere this upcoming World Cup. I think I'm sure of it. Honestly, I've been kind of rocky on it. But after seeing Tim Ream, what he brings to the team overall, building out from the back, no one can do it like him. And he did give the ball away a couple times.
He did have a couple of giveaways, but that's...
Nobody else can do that, though.
But nobody else, nobody else has the opportunity to do that themselves. They're not skilled enough. Richards is a fantastic defender. Fantastic. But he's not the greatest at playing out with his feet.
No.
He's not. It's one of the things that he could really improve on. And if he does, he could really be one of the best center backs and defenders in the league or in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, he has all the tools, but he's got to get better there. And Tim Ream is just, like Tanner said, I didn't know.
Far away the best.
I didn't know if he would be there, talk about next World Cup. I didn't know even a year ago if he would be there. But, 4 years ago, we were definitely thinking, all right, this is Tim Ream's last one.
Yeah.
We won't, we don't get to see him in 4 years, but here he is performing continuously still at, damn near 40 years old.
I know I'm glazing the back three, but I really think that's a big part of it. I think Tim Ream helps him out a lot. He's not the best, he's not sprinting. He's not the fastest guy. Having cover, I really think it helped him out, building out from the back, especially we didn't have players like Gio Reyna in the side, some creative 10s that can really unlock the defense. Pulisic, good game from him. He turned up. But the back line, like we said, solid. Goalie, solid. Midfield, Roldan, pretty surprising how well he did. I thought he looked really suited in the position. The experience, you could tell. Not really a show-out performance, but a good performance. A solid 8 performance. Tyler Adams, midfield general, running around doing his thing.
Yep.
I thought he played well. Nothing too crazy from the midfield, really.
No.
I think the forwards is really where the talking point is now.
The forwards for sure. But real quick, just to bring it back, imagine Mark McKenzie also in this back.
Oh my God, dude!
I hope we stick with it. Oh man.
Richards, Ream back three with Freeze. Anthony Robinson, Dest. We could get into it so much.
But the attack for this game was like I've said it.
They showed up
multiple times. They just accepted whatever the manager was telling them because they all looked in sync. They were switching. You saw Pulisic as striker and then on the wing, and then same with Zendejas. They have such a fluid connection. And then even later when Balogun came on, you also saw him picking up some of those winger spots, and it was such a good cohesive attack for the first time in what feels like a year.
The second goal, right into it, Pulisic picks up the ball, really good pass into Balogun. The 9 we need shows up, finishes. Sargent, it's not looking good for him, man. He's moving down and down the pecking order. He honestly might be under Ajiman at this point, which is really disappointing to say. I think he's a lot better than Ajiman. He's just not shown it, and I would love to see him get more chances, but when you see Balogun come on and what he's done with his start and his substitution last game, his performances are just much better. He took his chance, scores the goal. But even before that, like Trevin said, you could see the fluidity from the front three, them moving around, and that's what we needed.
He was popping up everywhere.
We needed that. Zendejas getting his goal, Balogun later on getting a goal. The substitutes who come on did well. Jack McGlynn almost scored a fucking banger with his left foot.
Yeah, I think a really big thing with the forwards, I think, is that we were so desperate for that Balogun signing. Signing, whatever you want. Declaration for the United States, to become an American citizen.
Yeah.
But it was such an important thing, and holy shit, that's a big fucking spider. That was fucking huge. I had my hand right here, and I saw it, I was like, oh my God, that was a big bug. The importance of Balogun can't be understated because, like Tanner said, when he starts and he scores, and then when he comes on after being substituted and has a great game in that first game against Korea.
After not being called in,
not being called in,
almost didn't get called in.
He almost was left at home, and he did so well. And it just like we've been Josh Sargent fanboys since he didn't get called in the last few squads, and we've been hoping that it would provide some kind of change. But really, all this time, it seems like we just needed Balogun back. Honestly,
we do. We know Pepe's better than, in my opinion, especially for the USA. Yeah. Pepe is better, but Pepe's just been injured for so long, and so that's kind of like. Then I think Sargent's the third best out of but Balogun and Pepe are by far away better. Yeah. But when you see what Josh Sargent has done for his club, he's the only one out of Balogun and Pepe as well who has scored consistently for his club over the past year.
Yeah.
And because the other guys have been hurt and whatnot, you can say that. But I know that for the USA, especially, those guys are just showing out. Those are our best two strikers. I think they're the most skillful. Josh Sargent, he's going down in the order, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. When you're not scoring, when you're not doing what you need to be doing, you can see the difference when somebody like Balogun comes on. He makes the difference. Substitutes, like I was saying, Jack McGlynn almost scored a banger. Diego Luna coming on. Bit disappointed in Diego Luna, man. I think he'll be on the squad.
Last two games, all that you can rely on is the energy, and that, like at a certain point, that's the minimum. Yes, but you got to give us some
production in the final third, and it doesn't have to be goals and assists, but chance creation, more
decisive passing. Really, or even when you don't have the ball, even when you're not in possession, constantly moving around the pitch, popping up in those areas for your teammates, and when you don't have the ball at all as a team, pressuring and making sure, because that's the minimum that he usually does, but you got to add a little bit more to it. Maybe actually nick one here and there. Actually, trying to advance a little bit more than what we've seen, which is the baseline right now.
A little bit more ball progression from him. He's still a young guy. We want to see more. Good 2-0 win. What more can we say?
Right.
5 at the back. A lot of changes that I want to see in the next camp. Pochettino saying stuff like, he's done experimenting. I don't think he should have been experimenting anyway. Hopefully we see guys like McKinney, Cardoso, Anthony Robinson back in. I really hope Mark McKenzie comes back in with a back three. Mark McKenzie, who plays in a back three for Toulouse.
So good.
Chris Richards plays in a back three for Crystal Palace.
Tim Ream's old, so he needs a back three.
He needs the back three. With the wingbacks, we have 2 minutes set up.
That's and Robinson,
that
bro.
Team would be
that's sick.
Tillman, Pulisic, and Balogun or Pepe up top. Take
Adams
your
and McKinney in the
Adams,
midfield.
McKinney, Cardoso, Adams. Honestly, hot take before the video ends. I low-key would really like to see a midfield of Adams and Cardoso. I think the ball progress, especially when we don't have somebody like Gio Reyna in the side.
Yeah.
If we have Gio Reyna in instead of Tillman, maybe a little different. But the Cardoso, the thing he can provide, some more creativity from midfield. McKinney's kind of lowering down on my love. Like, my love for McKinney is going down a little bit, just seeing the rough performances. Like, he's not really getting too much game time, which is disappointing. Yeah. I want to see him move teams, get it. But you know how that goes with Juventus. He's in and out of the side. That's neither here nor there. USMNT won 2-0. Finally, we got a win, Trevin. Fucking finally.
Snaps the losing streak against top 25 teams.
Needed it bad.
It was bad.
Even a rotated Japan, we needed it bad.
Up and down, international break for the US and then the USMNT.
I give it a
C.
I give it a C.
I mean, you can't really. I mean, if you
give it a C.
C minus maybe.
C.
Only because in my head I give yesterday's performance against Japan a B plus. And
I did as well. I really loved it.
Against Korea, a D minus.
Yeah.
Almost an F.
Yeah.
That was how bad it was. So hopefully we can improve and really get it together. And Poch is done experimenting, and we can see what our real team is in the next set of friendlies.
And hopefully we solidify this 5 at the back forward.